We're missing like one data pad, and it's probably that one that's in the slaughterhouse area. I'm not going back for that. Alright, so obsessive, I can't remember what that one does. Anthrophobia, I think they get stressed when they see human enemies, so I guess at some point we're gonna see human enemies. Haven't yet. That might be something we can work around, I don't know. Hypochondriac just means they get stressed if we don't have any medical supplies left, and I'm usually pretty careful to keep medical supplies on hand, so that one's honestly not too bad. The pyrophobia is kind of bad because I really liked that flamethrower. So we're probably going to focus on, once I figure out what obsessive is, we're probably going to focus on fixing him and possibly the obsessive one because I can't remember what that does. Anyway. So I guess you get to pick between two classes. And it looks like there's 5 classes total, if I'm reading the UI correctly. So let's see. Gunner. The Gunner is one of the most recognizable Marines in a squad. Gunners are tough daredevils armed with the M56 smart gun. They can provide their team with exceptional fire support. Weapon training. With the revolver, the Marine can equip a revolver as a secondary weapon once the corresponding production line has been started in the workshop. Weapon training, smart gun. Can equip the M56 smart gun as a primary weapon. So, weapons specialist. Or Techer. Undoubtedly the most intelligent member of the squad, the Techer is a clever, resourceful Marine capable of hacking almost anything. Hacker. Grants access to the hack interaction option. The Marine has the ability to unlock encrypted doors, costs 1 tool. And then the weapon training with the revolver. So I kind of suspect that everyone gets weapon training with the revolver. And then what classes did you unlock? Medic and Recon. Recon. Fast and equipped with a light pulse rifle, the Recon is a deadly master scout who can always be relied upon by their squad. Weapon training with the revolver and weapon training with the sniper rifle. So kind of a long-range specialist. Medic. Expert at keeping their squad in good shape, medics are vital to any Marine formation. They provide comprehensive treatment for their brothers in arms. First aid instructor. The duration of the healing interactions is reduced by 50%. The bonus doesn't stack, so you can't make it instant. And then weapon training with a revolver. So, honestly, of these two, like, even though I tend to like sniper rifles, we've also been in a lot of really cramped situations, and those tend to be the panic situations, at least so far. So, I'm a lot more interested in medic. Because I like the idea of being able to heal people up and keep moving faster. So it looks like their class abilities will unlock at level 6 and level 10. And then an available common attribute. Squad generates 5% more retribution points. Marine automatically heals 1 trauma point for a campaign turn. That would be quite useful for you right now. Yeah, I'm going to say Mind of Steel. You need it. Three days in medbay, 4 days in medbay, and he was exhausted anyway, so he was going to take a couple days to come back regardless. 4 days in medbay and 3 days in medbay. Honestly, not too bad considering what they just went through. Okay. And then of the 2 classes you got... I'm actually going to say the Techer because I like being able to get into doors. I don't know how useful that this is going to be. I might end up regretting it, but we'll see. So yeah, quick hands I don't really care about. Reloading has not come up that much. Maximum accuracy is great and all, but trauma. Let's fix that, shall we? And let's try to fix these guys. Let's see what they got. They're not going to have a class yet because they were only level 1. So it is actually possible to get the ability to hack encrypted doors through a common perk. Okay, wish I'd glanced at this before because I probably would have picked Gunner had I noticed that. But now that we have a tech guy, let's do something else, probably. Critical and dismemberment chances go up. That would be nice. That honestly doesn't seem like all that great. If they're down at 2 health, I'm going to heal them anyway. Assuming that I can, but if I'm in a situation where I've got a bunch of wounded Marines and no health kits, I don't think the enduring thing is going to save me. So we're going to go for critical and dismemberment chances. Mind of Steel. Let's fix that trauma. We somehow managed to rescue the vet despite just leaving her in the elevator room where 2 xenomorphs walked by while we went to get our sentry gun. It worked, I guess. Oh, and we got the project blueprint for the extraction device, so now if we can build and carry at least one of those, facehuggers might not be instant death. That would be nice. Yeah, we were detected a lot more of the time on that one, and I felt it. Although the actual mission duration, I think, has been our shortest one so far. Despite, you know, probably spending a solid 10 minutes or so just looking for tools at the end. So, yeah, killed 4 facehuggers. Was very nearly gotten by a couple of them, too. That was almost terribly bad. 1 queen, 33 drones, and a crusher. And yeah, apparently with the crushers, that earthquake attack of theirs will just absolutely wreck your turrets. So when setting up turrets, particularly when you think a crusher might show up, try to spread them out a little bit.
You did good today, Administrator.
Not good enough. We need to broadcast, or more colonies will end up like dead hills.
Ease down. We have no proof of that. What we have is a lead. That container transited from Berkeley's dock. That's Lethe's main spaceport. Someone's dispatched those crates on purpose. What kind of psycho would do that?
Sergeant, we've seen those things in action. You know we don't have time to chase boxes.
Oh, but we have time to build our own private satellite?
Listen, Martinez reckons the surviving EEV can be repaired. We rig it with boosters and a comms repeater, maintain it in low orbit, push a message to a working relay, and we can—
Did you listen to what I just said? Somebody used that container so that Dead Hills could live up to its name. What if there's more of those crates around, huh? As this Director Price of yours still isn't taking any calls, we're the only one trying to find where they came from. If we don't, more folk are gonna die.
And even more if no one ever hears about what happened on this damn planet. If you really want to save everyone, Sergeant Harper, I suggest you start thinking beyond Lethe.
I was born here, Hayes. These are my people. I won't leave them to die.
I didn't know. I'm sorry, Sergeant. Listen, you're right. Berkeley's a big spaceport. We'll probably find both people and quality spare parts there. I say we catch them both.
Roger that. But in the meantime, can you check in with Becker? He's been pestering me like you wouldn't believe.
Okay, how many Marines do we even have, like, ready to deploy right now? Available Marines, 0. Let's go assign some positions, shall we? Well, we could get 2 of them back today, but that's not enough to do a deployment. I'm not going to send only 2 people out. Maybe if we could get 3. So we're gonna, I think, work on getting That one that's going to be back in 2 days. Let's get him down to 1, because then we will have a group of 3.
This one's a priority. Understood.
Tomorrow. And then probably just some of these 3-day ones. Say Kurtz. Or no, we don't have one right now because we signed 2 of them before we even left. So, okay. Because we haven't even passed a day yet.
Indeed, I did. That specimen you've recovered offered outstanding research possibilities. Have you had the chance to review my initial report on the xeno samples?
I've barely slept.
Oh, yes. Of course. Well, suffice to say, they're absolutely fascinating. I feel my muse gathering herself to action. All manner of breakthroughs tantalize just beyond my fingertips. Long-term benefits aside, I've already had some ideas about how to improve our gallant Marines' equipment. But I need more samples.
These creatures are dangerous, Doctor.
Not when they're dead. And if we took one alive? Well, nothing's impossible. This lab has a containment cell built for such encounters. Perhaps we could use it.
A live specimen? On board? Absolutely not.
I'm simply trying to make myself useful.
Listen, Doctor, I get it. But the Marines will stick with samples, and so should you. We can't have one of those things getting loose on here.
So we all know that regardless of what we tell this guy, we're eventually going to be either convinced to catch a live specimen, or he's just going to somehow do that. Maybe bribe one of the Marines or something, I don't know. And it's going to go horribly wrong. We all know it, right? Well, in the meantime, we need to pick a project to study, and it looks like I'm going to be studying the chitin Kevlar plates because it's not letting me even look at the other ones. I mean, it's one of the ones that looks honestly pretty solid. If the whole squad gets 1 more armor, then maybe we don't have as many wounds to deal with, hopefully.
Finally, a project worthy of my talents.
And it looks like it just costs resources. It doesn't necessarily take time. Improves grenades. Every enemy caught in a grenade suffers a 50% penalty to movement speed for a short period of time. That could be nice. And then the extraction device, of course. The squad gains the embryo extraction interaction option. Allows you to heal a Marine from facehugger implantation. Yes.
A fine study.
I would like those to not be instant death, which no, actually, this one wasn't as expensive. The other 2 cost 10, but this one cost 3. Yeah, we're going to grab that too. So yeah, the upgrades look pretty dang good. So now grenades, I need to remember now that grenades aren't just a, use this when they're too far away to use the shotgun. It's a, use this, and especially if you combine that with the suppressive fire, that should cut them, depending on how the game calculates it, that should cut them either to like 35% movement or possibly 20% movement, depending on how it's calculating it. Like, it's either going to be half of 70% because the suppressive fire cuts them down to 70%. So it's either going to be half of 70%, which would be 35%, or they're going to stack where it's like 70% minus another 50%, which would be 20%. Either way, it's going to slow them down a lot, which could help us control the really big, like, massive onslaughts a lot better. And now facehuggers aren't necessarily instant death unless, like, the whole squad goes out. So, still probably best that they don't get facehuggered. I imagine that's pretty traumatizing. Honestly, I don't know if they did, but if I'd programmed the game, if you save someone from a facehugger, it's still, like, just 1 instant trauma point, because that seems horrifying. But at least it's not instant death anymore. And we get 1 more armor. Okay. And yeah, all the positions are currently... Yeah, we don't even have the psych ward yet, so... Okay. The revolver could be really nice because having a more powerful sidearm. Let's see. One ammo burst. It's a slightly slower fire rate, and they have to reload more often. So you're not getting as many bullets in the air as with the service pistol, but it has the potential to do 2 to 3 times as much damage per bullet. Also has a much higher dismemberment chance, although it's still not, like, super high. So yeah, we may try that out. Or, of course, there's the submachine gun, which we can't get yet. We need to get someone to level 6 to do that. And so far, our highest level is level 3. So the same amount of damage as the service pistol, but it fires 2 rounds per shot instead of 1, so it's guaranteed to be double damage. The burst duration is only slightly longer, and it has a much larger clip size. So that's honestly, the submachine gun is like a straight upgrade, whereas the revolver is like, it might be better if that was like a 2 to 3 damage instead of 1 to 3, because the problem is there's a 33% chance that the bullet is no better than one coming out of the service pistol. You're having to stop to reload twice as often, and you're firing like 50% slower because it's 0.75 seconds for a burst rather than 0.5 of a second. So it's 50% slower than the other one. So it's like, that one I'm not sure. The submachine gun, though, I may just honestly save up for that one because I don't know how many materials we're going to get. I think I'm going to hold off for a little bit. Definitely glad I got the incinerator, though. I don't know if I was super effective in how I used it last time. I think I could have used it a little better than I did. The fact you can draw a firewall with it, that seems like it can be potentially a pretty big firewall. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. So, I'm gonna just check the codex real quick just to... Okay, apparently there was a data pad we picked up that I didn't stop to read, so we may as well read that. So, Julian Waltz to Roger Spinhead. Good news, mate. Those lunatics came clean. Turns out they had a few dollars left in their holy pockets. Change of plans, though, because I think Gallagher suspects something. If we want to leave this rock for good, we need to be extra careful with this job. You still got access to the transformer station? We need someplace discreet. Cheers. That must have been the smuggler log we picked up toward the beginning. So yeah, we're missing only one of the data pads from Dead Hills, and I suspect that it was in the slaughterhouse. I think that's what that icon meant. But I am not going back for one data pad. At least not unless we have a lot of time on our hands. Okay, so this like breaks down like what the classes can do as they level up. Medic. Specialized at keeping the squad in good shape, the medic is vital to any Marine formation and provides healing abilities to squad mates. The first aid instructor we've already seen, it cuts healing time in half. Medical assistant. When the rest option is used after creating a shelter, all alive and conscious Marines recover 1 health point. This bonus is cumulative. So cutting the first aid time in half, that's not cumulative. But if you have multiple medics, you can regen more than 1 health point per rest. That would be nice. Emergency surgeon. Reduces recovery duration aboard the Otago by 30% rounded up for all Marines returning from a mission. Okay, that would be nice. Medic class upgrades. Reanimator kit. Grants the reanimation interaction option, allowing the Marine to heal another Marine in a coma. So not one that's died, but if they've gotten, like, essentially this game's equivalent of a critical wound, you can get them back up. Morphine. As long as the Marine with this upgrade is alive, Marine stress decreases by 30 points when they are healed. Okay. That would also be kind of nice. Combat drugs. Increase the health points of all Marines in the squad by 1. Yeah, I'm liking that. Let's see what the Tecker eventually learns. Undoubtedly the most intelligent asset of the squad, the Techer is a resourceful and clever Marine capable of hacking almost anything. Class abilities. Sentry Gun Overcharge. Grants the Sentry Gun Overcharge interaction, which improves the damage of a sentry gun. Costs 1 tool. Okay, my question is, does that bonus go away when I pick the gun up again? I would assume that it does. But it still might be good in a pinch. Grants the ability to hack encrypted doors. Yep. We already knew about that. Hacker Expert. When a Techer with Hacker Expert is deployed with the squad, unlocking encrypted doors and repairing synthetics no longer costs tools. This effect applies to every Marine that can perform these interactions. Okay, the Hacker Expert looks really good. I'm hoping we get that eventually, hopefully soonish. Techer class upgrades. Valravn 450 Recon Drone. The Marine is followed by a drone that can perform specific interactions and follow orders. Battle Drone. The drone is now equipped with a submachine gun that can fire at enemies. The Marine must have the drone upgrade to equip this gear, for obvious reasons. Drone Welder. The tactical drone can now weld or breach welded doors. It still costs a tool to do that, but it means that you could have the drone welding a door or breaking through a door that you needed to run through without, sacrificing a Marine to do it, which means, they're not firing at enemies. It might be useful in a dicey situation, although the battle drone, if you have to choose between those upgrades, I'm not sure if you do or not, but you do have limited upgrade slots, so I don't think you can have everything. I think I would prefer to just have the battle drone. And we can't see anything about the other classes yet. I guess we need to, have someone of that class before we can see it. The Queen is the heart of the hive. She is one of the most vicious xenomorphs known, if not the deadliest. Queen abilities. Rally Scream. After taking damage several times, the Queen screams to call for help. A wave of xenomorphs appears from nearby spawn points. Royal Charge. The Queen charges in a straight line, dealing a small amount of damage and knocking down Marines in her path and leaving them very vulnerable to facehuggers. That very nearly got one of our guys killed. Execution. The Queen grabs Marines next to her and executes them. You can interrupt execution by using these skills against the Queen. Shotgun Blast, Grenade Launcher, Precision Shot, RPG Launcher, Overloaded Plasma Beam, all explosion damage. So shotguns and explosions if she tries to do that. Tail Slam. The Queen hits the ground in front of her with her tail. This attack deals average damage to your Marines and knocks them down. Yeah, I saw her do that at least once. Breach. The Queen can destroy welded doors with one blow. That makes sense. RPG Weakness. RPG shots stun the Queen for a few seconds. Try to set up traps and a kill zone before engaging a Queen. Good preparation can help you defeat it without too many losses. Yeah. I really, really don't want to run into one of those unprepared. And I'm really hoping they don't become a common enemy after dealing with that one, but I don't know. And then, yeah, just explaining the laboratory. I figured that out. Okay. So we need to just go to the next day at this point.
New objectives are awaiting your review.
Okay. So the Marines lost hope facing such a dangerous creature. Hayes has to find a way to bring them up. We can try to give a speech, which could go really well or really terribly. It would either pep everyone up and make them no longer exhausted or tired, or it would make all of them exhausted, or we can just allow them to rest for the day. And honestly, we have so many wounds right now that I think we need to just let them rest anyway. So we're going to do that. Take a break, guys. It's a little bit annoying because I don't think we can afford to lose too much time, but I mean, look, we only had 3 available anyway. That's not a full squad. So let's go to the med bay. Okay, let's try to get Kurt's. Yeah. Okay, so you can pull up, like, all of the information on them. And the A button is not wanting to work. This has actually already happened once. Like, when I tried to launch a mission and ended up, like, not being able to because I couldn't equip anything or assign tools, and I ended up having to restart the game. I just didn't show that. It's just like the interface just stops working sometimes. Like, I can't assign anything right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the main menu and we're going to save and quit. And we're going to load back in, and we're going to hope that that works.
Hello, Administrator Hayes.
Can I assign positions now? Yes.
This one's a
Okay.
priority. Understood.
Really hope they fix that. And we've only got one left. Yeah, we're gonna go with you.
This one's a
She doesn't
priority.
have any negative
Understood.
traits. So we'll have 3 more coming back in a day. And I don't think there's anything else we can really do right now. So we could, of course, use materials to upgrade some of our Marines, but I want to see who all's available before we start
New
next
objectives
deployment.
are awaiting your review.
Okay, one of the rookies has suffered from a nervous breakdown. We're just going to order them to rest. We can't deal with traumas all that well yet, so the exhaustion's the better option, I think. Alright, let's hop back over to the med bay.
This one's a priority.
Okay, so if you order a physician on someone that only has 1 day left, they just immediately become available. That's nice. And we're going to go with the one that doesn't have a trauma yet.
This one's a priority. Understood.
So we actually managed to get through most of the wounds. So I don't think losing that day was all that bad of a thing. Now we actually have Marines to pick from. So let's see.
Hello, Hayes.
Hop over to the barracks and see who all's available. You're still in med bay.
What did I teach you, Marine? Salute!
So yeah, we actually could unlock the drone for him. Which costs 30 materials, and I'm gonna do that because, well, does he have, yeah, okay, he has 2 available upgrade slots, so we could give him the battle drone right now, and I want to try that out. Okay, no, you have to get the welding ability first. It's not an either or. It's a you take this and then you get the battle drone. So he doesn't have 2 upgrade slots right now. So I'm going to have to wait until he unlocks the next one at level 6. And then I'll upgrade his drone further. We'll see if it can even do anything without upgrades right now. But I'd rather put the materials on someone else. Okay, Smith's exhausted, so they're not going to be doing anything just yet.
This one won't let you down.
Okay, so you reduce ammo clips by 1 at the start of your deployments. So I'm going to give you an ammo bag to offset that. Which counters your negative. You basically just now have no upgrades or personality traits. It just neutralizes that.
What did I teach you, Marine? Salute.
So you just have one fewer health points. It's probably not the end of the world. So we're gonna give you an aiming sight.
This one won't let you down.
Yeah, you definitely need that aiming sight. This won't even completely negate it, but it'll help.
What did I teach you, Marine? Salute.
You're the undisciplined one, so I'm only taking you when I have to. And you're always exhausted at the end of deployment, which is not great. So these three down here, because I believe you're the klepto. Yes, you are. So, I mean, if I had to rank them, like, Sanes is the least bad. And then Maury, and then Torrance, I'm just going to try to not take it all. But these three are definitely my least favorite. And so I'm going to leave them unupgraded right now, kind of as an indication of that.
What did I
And then
teach you,
it's
Marine?
not,
Salute.
and then honestly, like, I also don't really like Smith's thing either, but I would say it's less bad than those three, but he's exhausted at the moment anyway, so I'm not going to bother upgrading him right now. Okay. So what? I think at this point we just need to go on mission. And the infestation level's about to go up, so we need to figure out how to deal with that, I guess. I don't know if that's just a flat timer or if there are ways to reduce it. Yeah, we're not gonna bother going back here. It's like there's 20 materials and a datapad left. I think we'll live. So, Berkeley's docks. Primary objective 6, secondary objective 5, 11 datapads, 160 materials, and I'm going to guess like one guaranteed boss, which is going to be the Xenotech drop. You can definitely get more than one per mission. Like, we got a bunch just from the drones and stuff that we took out, and that extra charger we took out, which weren't accounted for in Dead Hills. So I think what the Xenotech means is like a guaranteed boss encounter. So 160 materials, that's honestly the bit that I want to try to remember.
Understood. Uploading mission data.
Yeah, bad luck I don't really mind. The coward thing can be bad. And then weak is like the ammo thing, but you have an ammo bag, so you're fine. Let's see if we can find someone other than McDonald. Maybe Latimer. Ruiz. Yeah, we're gonna take Latimer. And I want to hand somebody a flamethrower. We're gonna say Sharp, I think. And I guess one of them has pouches. Okay, so does that mean that I can have 2 of these active? And if so, like, I'm trying to figure out what that... Okay, well, I'm gonna... Do I have to, like, spend Xenotech to activate these? Okay. And is that just gone for good after the mission? Or do I just need to have a certain amount in reserve? I don't know yet. We don't know if there's going to be face huggers or not. So I'm just going to be kind of careful, I think, and we're going to go off. We're not going to... I don't really have a reason to believe that there's a massive hive here. So... Granted, the game did give that to me very specifically before unlocking this area, so maybe that should be a hint. Alright, we're gonna have the extra armor. And I'm going to take these just in case, but we're going to not take the grenades right now, and we'll see how that... If we get any of that back, or if that's just going to be I need to, like, keep gathering the xenotech so that I can activate these upgrades. And yeah, we're going to take all 3 of our sentry guns. I'm not going to buy a 4th right now. You never know. We might find one. I think unless I know I'm heading into like another situation like those mines or something, I'm going to try to only have 3 out of 4 guns just in case we would find one to bring back. And we're going to take 3 tools and 3 medkits because we're almost bound to find more, and I want some room in our bags. Actually, I would like a lot of room in our bags for tools especially, so we're only going to take 2 tools.